Super Delta Dart Part 6, Constructing the Wing Saddle. You will need your X-Acto knife, a ruler, an 1/8 by 1/8 piece of balsa wood, a 1/16 by 3/16 piece of balsa wood, two pieces of balsa wood for spacers. You're going to use tacky glue for this, and don't forget to get your little paper towel to the left of the scissor and X-Acto knife holder and close the cap and wipe the tip so that somebody else can get right to it. Your saddle, when it is done, should look like this. Right here. This is the top. And it will fit onto your fuselage. So if my finger's the fuselage, it'll fit onto the fuselage like that with your wing across the top. So I'm going to show you how to make this. The pieces that you'll need, you're going to measure and mark this to 6 inches, and you'll get 2 6-inch pieces out of this, and I will do that off camera. I forgot to mention that you'll also need a piece of scrap paper because you're going to be using glue, and then 5 pins for pinning everything together. You're going to put tacky glue, a thin coating of tacky glue, on the 1/8 by 1/8 piece. And you don't put a heavy coating, just a thin coating, so you can see what I put on there. And spread it out with your finger. And you do want to make sure that you get tacky glue on the entire piece. And then you're going to stick it onto your side of the saddle like that. And then you will put tacky glue on the other side of the 1/8 by 1/8 piece. And you want to really avoid getting tacky glue on this piece. You just want to get it on that 1/8 by 1/8 piece. And again, spread that out. And you can see that the 1/8 by 1/8 piece is separating here. That's not a good thing, but we're going to pin it together so that that doesn't happen. And you want a nice level surface at the top here. So make sure that that's level, even everything off. And then you're going to need 5 pins. And notice that I've closed the cap so that the white cap touches the red, and I've wiped the tip so that somebody can use this after I do without having to remove the glue. So stick the pins. You're going to stick 3 pins in on one side, and you notice that this is not even here. So you want to make sure that this surface here is nice and even. So I'll finish sticking the pins in off camera, and I'll show you when I'm done. I am showing you now a completed saddle, and you'll notice that this surface here is nice and flat. You'll notice that I put 3 pins on one side and 2 pins on the opposite side. None of the pins are sticking through the other side. I've also printed my last name and period and day on there. And the last step to complete the saddle is to put the spacers in. So you're going to place the spacers in like that. If you push the spacer all the way down, it's handy that there's a red mark on that middle portion of the saddle. If you push that all the way down to here, it may get glued in place, which means that then you'll have to redo your saddle completely. So again, don't push it all the way down. So just like that will be fine. Now here's an example of a student that did not follow my directions, didn't use any spacers and didn't use any pins, and clearly didn't measure either. But you can see that this saddle is completely useless, and this had to be redone. So this is what will happen possibly if you don't follow these directions. And that is the last part of Super Delta Dart Part 6, constructing the wing saddle.